minus AB squared minus 7AB, all right, plus A squared B plus 5AB squared, right? So what is happening is this, my good friends. What's happening is this. We go with the like terms. So I was explaining to say E 2AB and the AB and negative 7AB, these are like terms. E 9, they are like terms. All right. Then E negative AB squared 9 oku. Okay, 9 oku, they are like terms. This one is just alone. Because this is alone and is positive, we get to start with it when grouping the like terms. We say A squared B. All right. Then we start with those which are squared. We say 5AB, say plus 5AB squared. Then minus AB squared. We have grouped this. Then we come to this. We say plus 2AB minus 7AB. We have just grouped the like terms. So there are many 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We haven't left anything. So we can easily copy this A squared B. Then we start 5AB squared minus AB squared. This, you take it as a one thing, my good friend. All right? You take it as a one thing. So we are more like saying 5 phones minus 1 phone. We remain with the 4AB squared. All right? We do the same. All right? This is one thing. So we say 2AB minus 7AB. We have minus 5AB. All right? This is how you get to simplify. You can simplify. All right? Integers ndema dingana ma negative and positive. Negative and positive. Ndeja ngauta subtract. Listen. If you are subtracting a positive and a negative, okay, let me just have a small class on my sign so that maybe if there's anyone again who has a problem with sign, maybe skewed. If you are adding, all right, let's say positive 3 plus 2. This is positive, this is positive, so we don't have problem with that. All right. Of course, this is under direct 3 plus 25. Are you getting this, huh? Now, the same number, if I say negative 3 minus 2, this one, they are minus, but because in negative, 9 in negative, they're all negatives, we treat them as if we are adding them, but it carries the sign, all right, of a negative. So negative 3 minus 2 to be negative 5. Why? Because they are both negatives. They are both positive. That's why we have positive 5. These are both negatives. No wonder we have negative 5. Then, let's say we change the sign. Let's say perhaps our positive, the first one is positive. The second one is negative. Because of this, one is positive, one is negative, we subtract. Teacher subtract. All right, teacher minus. But in a power, making a power, ni number ikulu. The one with the bigger number is the one that carries the sign. So we say 3 minus 2, it's 1. It's 1 what? Positive or negative? It's positive because 3 is a bigger number, it has that. Then, what about if it's like this, negative 3 plus 2? What do? We'll still subtract. All right? As long as my sign is here, we'll subtract, but get the sign from the bigger number. So, not the bigger number, not the positive, up and negative. So, to be negative 1. I hope that digressing is worth it. I hope somebody has learned something. Half plus 1. So, what is 9 to the power half? 9 to the power, as long as your power is a fraction, look at the denominator. Nga denominator ni 2, you square root. Nga ni 3, you cube root. Nga ni 4, you fourth root. So since the square root, the denominator is 2, we're going to square root. We say the square root of 9 plus 1. What is the square root of 9? It's 3. So we're going to have 3 plus 1. So our answer is 4. The answer is 4. All right. So we have 3 plus 1, which is 4. Listen, let me just explain using a calculator now. I have a calculator with me for the same problem so that we said 9 to the power half, which is 1 over 2. Okay? So when you say equals, we're going to get a 3. So 9 to the power half, it is 3. So what we had was 9, all right, 9 to the power half, all right, plus 1. That's our answer 4. Okay, so that's about it. So if I can clarify, give me chance I clarify, okay, because you might get it, but somebody else might not. So if it's clear with you, much appreciated. I really need to hear that. But yeah, let's also take note. Maybe there's somebody. So if I can emphasize on something, give me that time to emphasize on the point. Then half plus 1. So what is 9 to the power half? In 9 to the power, as long as your power is a fraction, look at the denominator. Nga denominator ni 2, you square root. Nga ni 3, you cube root. Nga ni 4, you fourth root. So since the square root, the denominator is 2, we're going to square root. We say the square root of 9 plus 1. What is the square root of 9? It's 3. So we're going to have 3 plus 1. So our answer is 4. The answer is 4. All right. So we have 3 plus 1, which is 4. Listen, let me just explain using a calculator now. I have a calculator with me for the same problem so that we said 9 to the power half, which is 1 over 2. Okay? So when we say equals, we're going to get a 3. So 9 to the power half, it is 3. So what we had was 9, all right, 9 to the power half, all right, plus 1. That's our answer 4. Okay? So that's about it. So if I can clarify, give me chance I clarify, okay, because you might get it, but somebody else might not. So if it's clear with you, much appreciated. I really need to hear that. But yeah, let's also take note. Maybe there's somebody. So if I can emphasize on something, give me that time to emphasize on the point. Then x squared minus 2x equals 0. How you can find this question? You look for common factors. You factorize so that you find the factors. So we have x squared minus 2x equal to 0. So what is common here? X is common. So we are going to factor out x. So we have x open bracket. X squared divided by x, it is x. Negative 2x divided by x is negative 2 equals 0. These are factors. Area to become a brackets, okay? Like this. So one and the same. So this x we equate to 0. So we are going to have x is equal to 0. Then we are going to have x minus 2 also equal to 0. So we have equated this to 0 and also that to 0. So by additive inverse, negative 2 on the right side becomes positive 2. So we're going to have x is equal to positive 2. So these are the two values of x. And in paper 1, they always give that provision to show you that you need to find the two values. So you can start with 2 or 0 or 0 or 2, which x squared minus 2x equals 0. How you can find this question? You look for common factors. You factorize so that you find the factors. So we have x squared minus 2x equal to 0. So what is common here? X is common. So we are going to factor out x. So we have x open bracket. X squared divided by x, it is x. Negative 2x divided by x is negative 2 equals 0. These are factors. A area to become a brackets, okay? Like this. So one and the same. So this x we equate to 0. So we are going to have x is equal to 0. Then we are going to have x minus 2 also equal to 0. So we have equated this to 0 and also that to 0. So by additive inverse, negative 2 on the right side becomes positive 2. So we're going to have x is equal to positive 2. So these are the two values of x. And in paper 1, they always give that provision to show you that you need to find the two values. So you can start with 2 or 0 or 0 or 2, which they don't want to have anything to do with set C. So how do we come up with set notation for this? I need space, so I don't know how I can, okay, I can take it up here. Are we able to see here? So we have what is in set A has been put together with what is in set B, right? Vevirimu A vafakila pamoja vamevirimu B, but they are not intersecting with the C or union. They are not unioning. They are not united. Yes, but they are not united with the C. And the reason why we didn't use union in upper is because if we were to use union upper, that means even the outer part would have been shaded. Now kusiacha besi yeka would have just only had C if we were to use the U here, union. All right. So we are using intersection so that AB can come out. All right. So that AB can come out. So they have shaded part of A and B. Whatever is involved, whatever involves the set C, whatever involves set C has been excluded, has been eliminated. All right. For that reason, our C has a complement. This is what a complement means. Shouldn't be part of the solution. Shouldn't be part of the answer. So C has a complement. Now the key was to know which sign to put here. So we have used intersection because now if A union B is now has nothing to do with the C, then to have something to do with the universal. Because A, B, C are in the universal. So it has nothing to do with the C, then it has to do with the universal. But now, for the universal, if we are to use union, that means even universal be part of the solution. But the only part that has been shaded is A and B. This is why we are saying it is A union B intersect C complement. Because if we intersect is all but common. So minus x minus 6. This is a quadratic expression. We don't solve. We are not solving this because it's not even equal to something. This is an expression. All right. So what is going to happen is you need to find the product because we use the factorizing method. So we're going to say 2 times negative 6. 2 times negative 6, it's negative 12 as our product. Product, these are the results of multiplying two numbers or more. Then our sum, you always get the coefficient of x. Okay, like that. So now we're going to have negative 1. Then we look for factors. These factors should satisfy your product and your sum. As a product, you look for two numbers that if we multiply those two numbers should get negative 12. And which are numbers that can give us 12? Is 4 and 3. 4 times 3 can give us 12. But now we have a negative. So which one will carry a negative? Now, since our sum is negative, I'll give a bigger number. So negative 4 times 3 will give me negative 12. Okay, but negative 4 plus 3 will give me negative 1. So these satisfy those product and the sum. So now I can write this by using now my x. I'll say 2x squared minus 4x plus 3x minus 6. So now using my factors. All right, so now I'll factorize the first part, then later on the second. So what is common in the first part? 2x is common. So when you say 2x squared divided by 2x, we get x. then negative 4x divided by 2x is negative 2. So we should make sure that even in the other bracket, we should have the same thing as that. So how do we do that? I factor out 3, which is positive 3. 3x divided by 3, it is x. Negative 6 divided by 3 is negative 2. I have to conquer every time the same. Then what is outside, I should put it in one bracket. Then I can pick any of those twinning factors. Hence factor dividend. All right, an investor by the name Neri, all right, Neri invested 1,500 shares in the company and received 750 as dividend. What was the dividend per share? So listen, Neri has 1,500 shares of that company, all right, so this person, because of having those shares in that company, she gets the dividend of 750. All right. So Neri gets this in dividend for having 1,500 shares in that company. So it the profit or her earning for being part of that company of having 1,500 shares, she gets 750 kwacha. So now they're asking us to find what was the dividend per share. What about the person who has one share? How much was that person getting? So we are going to say 1 share is equal to what we are looking for. Then 1,500 shares is equal to 750. So we can call this as our X. How much is a person with 1 share going to get? Ngatisha na 1 share in that company, how much is she going to get? If the person with 1,500 shares gets 750, then we close multiply. Right now my network is unstable. Please let me know if I start skipping. So say X times 1,500, it's 1,500 X equals 1 times 750 is 750. Then we get to divide both sides by 1,500. So X is equal to 1,075, right? 750, sorry. 750 into 750 is 1. So we're going to have 1 over 750 into 1,500 need 2. All right? And 2 in decimal point, because in drama, could be in drama half. Could in drama ma decimals, right? So say X is equal to, this half can be converted into decimals, which is 0.5. So this person was getting 50 ngwe. If you have 1 share, you only get 50 ngwe. 0.5 V kwacha. Right. It's saying that at the end of the financial year, a public limited company declared a dividend. An investor with 1,500 shares in the company received 750, right? 750. So what was the dividend per share? If the person, all right, if the person with 1,500 shares received 750 kwacha, what about the person with 1 share? That's what we are talking about. So we'll cross multiply 1,500 times X, it will be 1,500 X equals 1 times 750 is 750. Then we divide both sides by 1,500. Then say X is equal to 750 1. 750 into 1,500 is 2. So we're going to have 1 over 2, which can be expressed as a decimal. It will be 2 into 1, it can't. Then we put a 0 here. Then if we say 10 there, we introduce a decimal point. So 2 into 10 is 5. So this person with 1 share will get 0.5 in kwacha, or whatever currency you might use.